non-related question for you, Pete. As a journalist, you know, and more, what are your thoughts on AI, Chat GPT, you know, people losing their jobs to AI? And do you have any advice for, you know, people who want to keep the craft alive?
You know what I mean? You got to stay with the times. You know, black people, or people of color, we be behind too much. AI, I have friends writing their whole reports. You know, I'm OG, so I do use AI to some extent. I just was doing producing a podcast series about financial literacy for young people of color. And so I was interviewing this guy from, I think it's called Slauson & Co. investment company. And this is to your AI point. And somebody was asking, one of the questions that I asked in the show was, if somebody was to give you $500, your young self back in the day, what would you do with it? Right? Matt Barnes was on there, Van Lathan, and a bunch of different people asked the question. You know, Matt was like, I'll get some pizza, you know, I'll go buy some clothes. The guy from Slauson said, I would put in Chat GPT, what should I do with $500 right now to invest to make money? Right?
Okay.
So that means ask Chat GPT. You still got to do the work and make it do whatever else, but I don't know. You don't want to be, you know, on the bus where everybody's in the Cadillac going to the party. So that's how I feel. I think we got to use it wisely. But I think it's unfortunate where, you know, if you're an artist or a musician, I've seen some Drake videos, some like Tupac videos that was like the way it sound. That shit was scary. So I'm afraid, but I don't want to be left behind, you know?
Right. Right.
What about on the journalist side? You know, people, it's a different industry. You were probably in it at the golden era of it, but I'm sure you're hearing a lot of your colleagues losing their jobs to AI and things like that.
We're here to just see whole articles or certain things where people actually had jobs and things to get by. I have a friend who has his whole company is an AI movie company and commercial. So they film a little bit, but generally speaking, they can make the whole movie or the whole video through AI. You know, I was talking with Busta and he loved it. He was like, he still had to do certain things and do whatever else, but I'm not sure. I think you got to either embrace it, but it is scary, the fact that I could go turn out the lights and do me an AI version of Lonzo, you know, Dre with the sparklies on or whatever else, and just be totally look just like him. You know what I mean? I mean, I think it's scary, really.
Yeah. It has its pluses and minuses. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. So
it definitely has its pluses and minuses. So what are you doing these days, Doc? What's your current situation? I know you're staying
here
busy.
in North Hollywood area of Los Angeles. I have my company For the Culture by the Culture, where we do film, television, podcast production. I keep one foot sort of in white mainstream Hollywood, you know, like The Freaknik, which I did for Hulu, or I just did Killing Hip Hop for Tubi. I might be working with Vlad on his thing. So I just, you know, I do shows that are big and pay some bills, but I also produce stuff on my own. And so I'm doing a wrongful conviction documentary in Chicago. We got Busta Rhymes coming up soon. We got the Raekwon doc in the mix, 30 Years of the Purple Tape. I think we're at some point, hopefully next year, the Roger Troutman scripted series will be coming out, which is based on the life of Roger Troutman, one of the best unsungs that ever did, the saddest ones, but the best was Zapp and Roger. I'm not sure if you know that Roger's brother killed him and then killed himself. Yeah. And so this is the story of the Troutmans and what happened to them and California Love and Prince and all of that. And so I go between scripted entertainment, unscripted, documentary, podcast, whatever. You know, people ask me what I do. I'm a storyteller. That's what I do. My job is like Phil from the Lakers, Phil Jackson. I just got to make sure Kobe and Shaq get to that triangle, throw Robert a few little lobs, and get it popping. Make sure Bron is feeling good. And so that's what I do. I coach and I just make sure everybody, gets their job done. So I'm blessed to be able to still be doing it, man. It's 30 years since that article in the Source came out, and I'm still here.
Wow. Okay. And I used to tour with Roger and Zapp as World Class Wrecking Crew. I said it before, I'm gonna say it again. Of all the acts I've ever played with, Morris Day and the Time, Cameo, Mary Jane Girls, the hardest act in the world to come behind was Zapp and Roger.
Correct.
If you ever want to get your asshole toe out, okay? Before you go on the stage, you're already done. You're already done.
Roger was an amazing performer and a hell of a funny, crazy dude.
Crazy dude. I'm still tight with Lester and Zapp to this day, man. I was the first one to bring him to California after Roger died.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Lester credits me with giving them a shot because back then they couldn't get arrested. And even then, the show was people had doubts. What's Roger without Zapp? What's Zapp without Roger?
Right.
And we had to see. Right. And as you know by now, they recovered very well. They still got the same energy. And these guys are old as I am. And older.
Well, it's true. So
Lester older than I am.
Yes, and I'm friends with the Troutmans. Went out to their city multiple times and hung out with them, and we got the script and all of that emotion. It's one of the great American stories, Lonzo. In terms of if you think about the Jackson Five of the Midwest, a bunch of brothers together and some sisters who make this thing and have a family that keeps them together. They go through the trials and tribulations of the brotherhood. In that case, unfortunately, a brother killed a brother, but the Jacksons, they went through so to me, it's like the Jacksons of Dayton, and the fact that Roger was the precursor to a lot of the West Coast hip hop that we did today. And so shout out to Roger and Zapp. That's one of my passion projects that's been in the mix.
Man, I'm looking forward to that one myself. Because Roger, he came out with that talk box.
Yes.
It was an Eve After Dark, man. That changed everything about dance music. It changed everything about funk. Now, I've been a Funketeer since day one.
Right.
Parliament Funkadelic back in the day. Slave, all that. Everything. Tear the roof off the mother sucker, the whole 9 yards.
Your whole thing that y'all did is all about, you know what I mean? Funk.
But when Roger hit with that talk box, yeah.
It's a trip because in the unsung, hopefully one day you watch it, Ice Cube talks about the first time he learns how to pop lock is from listening to Zapp and Roger. He says his first mixtape that he had all Roger beats on it. His first demo. That shows you the power of Roger in terms of how he affected, especially us, from the West Coast.
Wow. Okay. Hey, man, it is what it is. It changed the game completely. And
you see Bruno Mars and all these kind of people trying to mimic it today, you know what I mean? And trying to use that thing, the T-Pains of the world, and the auto-tune, which is a cousin to the talk box.
Yeah, but you know what? It just ain't the same. Only person I know right to this day can really use a talk box to its full potential is Battle Cat and DJ Quick.
Yes. And a guy named Bosco.
I don't know about
Bosco.
Oh, yeah. Bosco for sure. He just did a Tiny Desk with E40. That was crazy.
Yeah. So, but you're right. Yes.
Yeah.
Battle Cat.
It's only a handful of guys that can that really do that. Even when we did Juice, we used a vocoder, and we had it was a one key situation. We locked it in on middle C,